this time I'm going to show you how to actually try to light one, get it going without paper. Now, this isn't one of the official methods, but it's one I found to actually be really handy, especially if you're concerned your wood's a little bit dry. Now, we're lucky enough here to have this beautiful pine nut tree, which gives us this, which is effectively some of the best kindling you could ever actually ask for. This stuff goes up better than paper because of all the sap in it. So I shove some of this into the bottom. And I shove a mixture of larger and smaller sticks in vertically. Now, the larger and the smaller sticks are to give it the best chance of actually catching. And you don't have to do it this way, but this gives it the best way of creating some coals at the bottom and getting the whole thing just to actually go. Make sure when you're putting them in that you don't have them sticking out the top too much, because if you do that, where are you going to put your pots? So I'll just chuck a couple more in. And the beauty of the rocket stove is you don't need big sticks. Lots of little sticks. It's a great way of clearing your garden, and it'll give you a good opportunity to, here we go, get everything started. Now, once it's actually going, you do want to have some sticks to feed into the side as well. Now, I had a big pile of sticks here, but I also have 2 small ones, which means they will vanish quite quickly. So, this is the traditional way of loading up a rocket stove, and you actually put everything in from this side. But this is really to give everything the maximum chance of catching. Now, I'm really loading this one up because I'm actually going to be cooking up a big pot of soup for later, and I really want to give it a good start before we get it to the thermal cooker. So, let's see if it works. I am not quite hardcore enough to actually try to rub 2 sticks together. Maybe that'll be for another video in a long time when I've got a lot more free time. So, here we go. Let me get the camera in there. You can just see. All the pine needles I put in earlier.
Can't see.
Can't see. Never mind. They're in there, trust me. So look at that. They are going up. You can get the camera on that. You can see they're going up beautifully already. Obviously, you do something like this, safety is important. Make sure you keep your children away from the smoke and the fire. Because they are far, far too excited about it for their own good.
So what are we cooking today?
Now, today we're going to be primarily using the Primus here. This is a great way.
What's the Primus?
Of saving power. And effectively, it's nothing more than a simple thermal insert or thermal shell with a standard pot inside. If you look at the bottom of the pot, you can actually see it's got this cast iron ring here to help it retain heat, and this will sit straight on top of the fire. Now, in here, I have some basic bone broth which I've just been cooking overnight. That is got celery, carrot. This is the Vietnamese Spiced Noodle Soup. In here we've got all the good stuff. I won't touch it because my hands are black. But here we got cinnamon sticks, coriander, black pepper. I wish you guys could smell it. It smells so good. Just even you open it up, you can just get all the smell coming out. It's awesome. So
the rest...
you just cook this in. You boil it up in the stove for maybe around about 15 to 20 minutes. Then you pop it back in the thermal insert and you let it sit in there, and this is the thing, you save fuel, you save power, whatever you're using, and it just continues to cook. And it's ready to go. Look at that. First time.
So for the spices, just want to tell you what it's in there. So we've got 2 tablespoons of coriander seeds, a teaspoon of black peppercorns, about 3 big quills of cinnamon, and then there is 4 or 5 pieces of clove, and then there is about 2 star anise, two little star anise in there. So that's it. So that's the base you use. That's the base spice you use to cook the Vietnamese noodle spice soup. It's really delicious.
So come take a look over here. Watch out for the smoke. Leafy veggie, really great, and it's always actually there, and you just pick it as you need it. Now, I will actually show you the best picker we have.
What picker?
The picker is also the gardener.
Now this is our broth bean. You find the broth bean to get for the beans, but also more so for the leaves. You can actually eat these leaves. So what we do normally is we pick the top leaves, nice and soft. So I will use them for stir fry or even just chuck it in the soup, so to give us a bit of green. So pick some broccoli leaves, and then what we also do is we have some celery here. Celery is really good for soup. We're gonna have some celery in our soup as well. Just give that very, very nice sweet taste from the vegetable. So can you hear me? Oh, good. Alright, so I'm gonna just keep cooking, but I'll just show you my celery. So I'm gonna get some celery because celery is really good for you. Celery is highly detoxing. So I try to have at least a celery stick a day. But the good thing about having a garden, your own garden, is you can just pick how much you need. You don't have to buy a whole bunch. You have to eat it straight away, and the next 7 days you don't have any celery. So you really get to have a good variety of different vegetables. I'm just going to pick 3 sticks of celery and maybe some more greens later on. But celery, what you want to do with the celery, you want to give it some time to cook as well. Unlike the greens, you only just blanch them for maybe 30 seconds. Celery, you want to have a good 10-15 minutes cooking time at least. So this is it. Thank you. Hi, I just want to show you something else as well. The cleavers. It's the sticky plant. So I used to think this is a weed. Well, it is a weed, but it is an amazing weed. Cleavers is full of goodness. You can cook it, put it in cooking, you can put it in salad. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pick some of my cleavers and I'm gonna blanch it and I'm gonna eat it with the other vegetables I have. It's full of goodness. So I'm very excited about the cleavers I have. Just be careful when you pick them because it can get a bit sticky and it can cut your hand a little bit. So just be careful. I'm okay right now. So I'm just pick a few. I'm gonna leave the rest for it to continue to grow. Hi!
So we're now well on our way to boiling here, and this is the bit of the rocket stove that you really got to actually give a lot of constant maintenance with. Not too bad, but if you neglect this, your fire will go out, so you'll have to actually start again. Now, because you're actually burning much smaller fuel, basically twigs, little sticks and so on, they burn pretty fast. Now they give good heat, and this is one of the most efficient ways to actually burn it, but you do have to make sure that you continually feed the sticks in. Just give them a little push to make sure they're all the way to the back. Now, you can alleviate some of the concern with it burning too quickly by mixing in littler sticks and bigger sticks, which is what I try to do when I have any. And effectively I shove them in until they're actually hitting the brick on the other side, and then that gives you a nice little fire combustion chamber where everything is actually in there will burn. We have a result. It wasn't boiling when we started talking. If you take a look at the top now, you'll see it's nicely rolling over.
Do you want to turn down the fire?
We'll cook that for 10 to 15 minutes. You can slow it down by blocking off this air intake here. It won't go out, but it will mean there's slightly less air getting to the fire. I'll burn a bit slower and just give it more constant heat. Effectively, you turned it down to 1 to simmer. All right, we'll come back in 10 to 15 minutes. You can take a little look.
All right. I just want to show you now that this has been boiling for a while. We were originally going to put it into the thermal cooker, but we didn't end up doing it because we are running out of time. So if you put it in the thermal cooker, you will need to leave it in there for at least a couple of hours for it to continue to cook. But because the kids will be hungry soon, so we just keep letting it cook. So we just keep feeding the sticks to it, and it's been boiling for about half an hour. So it's time to put the veggies in. And yeah, but before we do that, because there's a lot of spices, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scoop out the spices, so it's not going to be, so it'll be much nicer to eat, so you wouldn't have all these little round coriander seeds and everything in your mouth as you're eating. So I'm just going to scoop them out, and then I'm going to add the vegetable, and then we have actually what was that, the lamb roasting in the oven. We can actually put the lamb in here, but we just want it quick because the kids will be hungry, so we just put it in the oven, it's easier. So what we do is, we have this beautiful soup. We have roast lamb, a slow roast lamb. We have vegetable, and we're going to cook probably some zucchini noodle or whatever noodle you have, and we're going to turn it into Vietnamese noodles, and that will be our Vietnamese noodle soup. So I'm going to put the celery in there. Celery sticks takes a while to cook, but yeah, this is all the vegetable I picked from the garden. There are some celery tops. We've got coriander. We've got bean leaves. Well, the broad bean leaves. But I'm going to put the celery top in there first. And we also have some sticky cleavers, which is a sticky plant, which is really good for you. Alright, so what we're going to do now is to just add, it's been boiling for a while, probably one of the last steps, just to add the greens. I have some cleavers here. I'm just going to blanch it very quickly. The greens, you don't really want to cook it for a long time, you just want to blanch it only. So dip it in there and remove it from the heat straight away. So alright, because the soup's already boiling in there, I'm not going to leave it there for too long. I'm gonna just stir it in, and I'm gonna remove it from the heat, so I don't want it to keep cooking with the vegetable. I want it nice and fresh and green. I might to boil quickly. Alright, this is it, our soup is ready. This is our Vietnamese noodle soup. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Yep, I've got greens in there. You can put noodles in there if you want noodles, and I've got some celery that's been cooking there for a while, and I'm gonna serve it with some sliced lamb, and I'm gonna garnish it with coriander. And also don't forget to add, what was that, lemon. Yum yum. Coriander. How is it?
Good.
What you need to add in there is fish sauce and to taste and lemon, and you finish it with some meat. We have lamb here, roast lamb, slow roast lamb. It's delicious. Thank you.